Oh, there we go. I'm an idiot. uh, Many apologies. And thank you for putting up with all of this. Man, at least I can kind of keep a look on things. Sweatshirt's gotten too big over the years. Any event. Woo! Thank you, Steve. Good to see you guys. This is the weirdest thing, but I'm stoked to do it. I got the High Sierra Music Festival playing from a couple summers ago. I can't really call that a start to when I was doing any of this because, heck, I really didn't even know what I was doing. I was just enjoying good music, and I was happy that I had a backstage pass. And man, at any point, if you want me to tune into one of your favorite shows, we can talk about it. Tell you a little bit about some of the experiences, some of the backstage, behind the scenes moments. While I have you here, Steve, you know I love you. Thank you for sending over some money along the way. That has always been very helpful and thankful. Of course, without showing too much. That's the check from Subaru. And they did a lot to help get me through that process, especially paying my deductible, which wasn't bad, but it was sizable. Betty D, thank you for the note. If any of you want to do like Betty D has done and send me your thoughts or requests, any of those sorts of things, please, by all means, send them to my P.O. box. I'll put that in the chat right now. Anyway, love to hear from you guys. Love hearing from you through the chat now, through your comments that you've made to me in the past. Oh wait, I have water, but I also have from the lovely Whitney Jones, my favorite mug. I can be a little bit prickly, but I do love hugs. Say that one more time. It says, free hugs, and there's cacti. Juxtaposition just like me. I'm really harmless, but I can be really rough at times. Curt, if you will, especially when I'm bartending. Let's turn this on. Oh! One of the nice things about bartending is people give you a different sort of, I don't know, sort of like the way people treat doctors versus nurses. We inherently get a little bit more respect for some reason, and I think it's because people just want their booze. I have no delusions of grandeur as to think I'm better than anyone by any means. Alright, let me get back down here. Well, Johnny Quest, share with the world. Spread the word. And I got Grandpa Gordy. I'll shut the TV off, Gordy. That was just providing. Gordy, you must not have been here in the beginning when I was showing my true inability with some technology. I caught up with most of this. I'm pretty good at it. Boy, I could learn a lot more. And still, much of what I know, I have my son to thank for that. He's helped me out a ton. So, Gordy, is that better? All right. I got a hello, Vic. Oh, thank you for sending happy birthdays to my mom. Yes, she and my dad are actually celebrating by exploring the Arizona desert and spending a little bit of time with my Uncle Bruce in Quartzsite, Arizona, where I was like The very same place I was last year at the very same time. That's I think a year ago this weekend was when I was shooting Schoolie Palooza, or last weekend. I can't keep it all straight just off the top of my head, but Schoolie Palooza, that was a fun time. There's usually a lot more drama going on uh, than I'll even turn the camera towards, because I honestly just look forward to providing a little bit of escapism for those of you who allow me to come in and presumably entertain you. So, much better, Grandpa. Thank you. I appreciate it. Where my mom and I were originally going to, we were headed to, she is very proud of her educational, oh, I shouldn't do that. Her educational past, I should say, man, I'm just going to sit up like this. She's very proud of her education and her past as an educator, so she really likes to give back, and she belongs to a club called the University Women of some sort, or something like that. I think we'll go back and visit them, because they just do their best to extend a helping hand to other people who want to take that university path. But what you missed in the conversation is, on our way to the meeting, she was talking about, as I support as well, the need for universities to incorporate real life educations like building trades. So enough about that. That's a long subject, especially in these very divisive times. So I hope that answers the question. We were headed to one of her club meetings, and we had plans to go see the house anyways, but I just felt like it was an opportunity to just not look at the cup as half empty, but we still had a cup. I mean, it was more full than we even imagined, because the plan was just to go by the house, get some shots of it, her tell me some history about it, or what she remembers from growing up. But we had no idea that Larry would invite us into his home and be so generous and so kind with his time. And then on the way out, his caregiver was like, oh yeah, by the way, you know, he's an international chess master. So, man, Larry, if you're out there watching this, again, that was amazing. We had a plan for that day, and look what happens when you just get outside and get outside of yourself. So, not to be preachy, I'm really, really stoked about that. All right, we got Carl from Madison, Wisconsin. All right, the sound is off. Carl, Grandpa, Gordy, you made your points. I appreciate it. And just so you know, I take direction pretty well. That's what's kept me employed for so long, until my feet gave out on me. Yes, the chess player was a very incredibly nice man. And I had a feeling he would love to have had a conversation with us more, but when you're down here in SoCal, the trip to Costco is no joke. And so I wanted to get out of the way so they could get their Costco run done. And, well, I have all the reason to go back. So, let me see if I can, I'm going to move some stuff around, because we're getting a little glare off the TV, I can see. But, I mean, the light's fine, I imagine. Like I said, I'm lucky that my parents have provided me the space to produce my first live chat and sit here and hang out with you guys. I mean, already I'm so overwhelmed and thrilled, and I can't thank you enough, because I didn't know if anybody would, you know, pivot and come this direction. So as long as there's people out there and we're having a good time, I'm more than happy to answer more questions. There's nothing you can't ask me. There's nothing you can say that will necessarily offend me directly. So just know that this is a safe place to express yourself, and as long as, you know, it's within reason, let's be nice. I choose. If you don't have anything nice to say, try not to say anything at all. So that being said, yeah. Where are we at here? Okay, so Uh, SJ, the Huss, she is a difficult person to nail down, and I have had a difficult time getting to see doctors, so it's been difficult for us to coordinate our schedules. We've talked about things coming up here in the near future, so as I say, stay tuned. But yeah, SJ, what's up? Let's hang out. Thank you, Betty D. Mickey's absolutely in heaven, right next to one of our favorite blankets that Robin Cron sent us. So it's great you mentioned that, and Mickey, because yeah, she could not be happier, and it's cold and windy out there, so nothing like anywhere else. Again, this is San Diego, but ooh, for us, if it's below 60 or 70 degrees, we put on sweatshirts and make soup. So I've definitely gotten out of that, having been in the Eastern Sierra for almost 15 years now. Anyway, Craig, Ocotillo Outlaws, thanks. Cheers. Having a great time. Maybe we'll have to sit down and do one of these together. I know you're not far, so I'm really kind of constricted in my content reachability right now. So I appreciate you tuning in and supporting the cause as always. You've been one heck of a supporter from the start, so thank you, Craig. And again, thank you, Betty D. We got Carl back in. Hello to my mom. I wish I could say that. You know, one of these days I'll get them involved too. My dad is quite the card if you just let the camera run. But they're in courtside right now, where I was exactly a year ago. So, yeah, I'll let them know though. I'm sure. Well, who knows? Carol could be out there. They're busy out rock hounding and looking at ghost towns and all that kind of thing. And I'm not sure who. Oh man, that's a hard one for me to read from this distance. Anyway, the last part of the title is Days. So we'll just go with Days. Days just saw the dog. Yeah, doggo Miki is, you know, she is at her leisure right now. I don't know what else to say. Not much bothers her, so I'm lucky for that. But, you know, I don't know that she could answer any questions, but if you have any questions about Nick, I'm more than happy to answer those as well, because, gosh, this April, it'll already be a year, and I feel like this year is already gone by quickly in just the short amount of time we've had. It always kind of seems like that, doesn't it? There's never enough time when you got money, and there's never enough money when you got time. But time is sort of a currency of itself, and I'm lucky because when I'm here in San Diego, I can see a lot of the people that I don't get to see. And as much as I love meeting folks and chatting with you, there are some people that are close to me who, man, I hope you get a chance to see in the near future. I know someday they'll be in the picture for sure, but I have a best friend named Gerald. He's come up in a few of the videos just kind of passively, but back, you probably saw a little bit of him when we went to our reunion last year. Again, some of those videos in the beginning were really rough. I was just showing a kid the other day some of my early thumbnails, and we were both having a good laugh at some of those. So I hope if you haven't gone through some of my earlier content, it's different. It's I encourage you. I mean, I shouldn't say never. That's you know, forever statements usually blow up in your face. So I'll just say this: I have no intention of purposefully taking down any of my earlier, let's say, videos. I couldn't say them. Well, you know, they were just tries. They were more than tries. They were just bad efforts at what I'm doing now. So in the end, they're still entertaining, and there's still informative stuff in there. But man, I remember somebody a little over a year ago was like, "Man, when you hit your stride, you're really gonna be something or something along those lines." And I was like, "Yeah, whatever, I got it." And I don't know. Like the more I have fun with it, the more that I learn from other creators and other videos and apply the things that I don't know. I was kind of afraid to show off like the sorts of things I know how to do with the camera and editing because I felt like on this platform people just kind of wanted to see a simpler version of things, but I really wasn't having a good time. I mean, there was still some flair to those earlier videos, but they really didn't have the pacing and the sort of vibe that I wanted to go for. So I don't know. I like what I'm doing now. If anybody has any constructive criticism or feedback that they want to offer me, I'm more than happy to listen. Betty, I saw your comment, and yes, she does eat the farm's dog food, and they've been very good to us. They've given us a couple breaks along the way, some discounts, extended some links your way that offer people, I think, a couple weeks free of dog food. And they do that for me every now and then. So you know, keep an eye on the post section and the community tab on your YouTube page and all that kind of thing because, well, if you follow me on Facebook, of course, I'm on all the other socials. It's the same thing, the Vic Meier Show on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. I think, but it's no W, it's just SHO. Yeah, I think I'm a little less afraid of like putting myself out there on all those socials because of what this is. So you can find me on any one of the social media platforms. I encourage you to reach out to me and let's be friends. Look forward to all of this. This is no joke. I know I can't bartend forever, and especially after my feet started failing me, I realized even more so that I needed to be a lot more serious about this because you know, I left school with an intention of doing more with this degree and having more to offer the world in the way of information. So, yeah, I'm I'm going for it, and I'm glad I did because if I didn't have some sort of outlet for all of this frustration of dealing with medical insurance companies, man, I would be having a much more difficult time. So sorry, not to get off on a tangent. Thank you again to the farmer's dog and long live dogs. Love that slogan. And Miki does love her food. So looking forward to working more with him in the future. But you know, if there's any other dog food that you feel strongly about, I'd love to hear about that as well. Let's see, Melissa. Thanks for chiming in. Hi, Melissa. And Miki too. Melissa says hi to Miki too. I'm sure all of you do as well. But you know, she's living her best life over here. I'll figure out how this stool works. Don't you worry. Yeah, I'm gonna step away from the comments for a second because I did have a few things. Just oh yeah, I want to go over my list because Patreon members like Whitney Jones, who again, probably my favorite coffee mug. There's a little chip out of it. It's well used. No lie about that. It's one of the few things that gets to be in the home and on the road. You probably can't see that, so we'll get over here. Pull this sucker out. You know, we got the good vibes flowing thanks to Bonnie, Chance, and Duchess with their Oregon Energy Generator. Love that thing. Well, I believe in positive thinking. So everything kind of stems from that. And so no matter what your belief system is or whatever, you gotta appreciate anybody that just wants to spread a little bit of good vibes out there into the world, and especially when you look at the way things can be, or potentially the way you things have been. It's even more refreshing when you meet folks like this and you're an out-of-towner from a few states over and they're just like, man, we're just trying to spread good vibes and raise everybody's vibration. I love that. And I love my Oregon generator because here's the thing. Even if it doesn't work exactly the way that they say it does, every time I see it, I'm reminded of what the intention is. And can't say enough about just keeping daily reminders around you. Know that, like Betty D, when you send me stuff like this, when you send me a nice letter and encouragement, it stays with me. It travels in the van. Craig, I saw you just popped in there, and Craig will back me up on this. He's seen the van. I have a dorky ass vision board with all of your stuff pinned right next to it just to remind me what I'm out there doing it for, because it's not easy. This tonight, this has been fantastic. Shoot. I didn't imagine all of this attention, so thank you very much. I was having fun typing back, but I'm just not that quick. And the official bartender at the Whistling Vents. I'm coming down there soon, Craig. Honestly, I'm ready for the next round too. I have such a vision for after you took me around and showed me everything around the Whistling Fence and Ocotillo. And again, I've been off-roading my entire life. I rode dirt bikes from the time I could, before I had a motorcycle, or before I had an actual BMX bike, we were out in the desert riding three-wheelers and dirt bikes and stuff like that. So, very few people can say that they were off-roading before they were even riding a bicycle. I mean, I didn't have a dirt bike like a BMX bike. I had like a dork bike. Anyway, I've seen a lot of Ocotillo, but I've never been on the south end of the 8. And Craig took me to go explore around there from Ocotillo Outlaws. And man, it was such a blast and so eye-opening, because there's natural wonders, off-roading, some old trains that were parked there, just abandoned after they were crashed mistakenly, or however that worked out. I'll have to wait for the video to find out. Actually, Craig has a really good video over at Ocotillo Outlaws. That's a good time for me to point that out. So I recommend checking out his channel as well. He likes going to a lot of varying places, not quite as much out of the way spots as like Waterhussy does, but he definitely has a good time moving around and giving you a view of his portion of the world in a great way too. I know he was telling me people want to see more of him on camera, and I'm in that camp myself. So Craig, let's get back down to the Whistling Fence and let's do something. Let's have some fun. Let's do fun shit. Anyway, there's something else I was going to mention about the Whistling Fence too. Well, in any event, there are plenty of things to do down that way. I want to make sure I got through all of my things and things of that nature. Yeah, this has been a blast. What time is it? How long are we taking? Holy moly. I was like, I hope I can squeeze 10-15 minutes out of this. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Man, I cannot believe how lucky I am. There was a part of me before any of this started, well, God, there was a huge part of me for many years that didn't do any of this, just out of the fear that I was too late, or my knowledge. I mean, when I went through journalism school, we were still in the broadcasting station I worked at here in San Diego. If some of you are familiar with KUSI, I worked in the production department in various roles, and we were still analog, so it was Betamax back in those days, the big ass tapes, which were a much higher quality than like VHS, which is what I cut in college. But only when I worked freelance a little bit after college and worked with aerial video systems and worked for ESPN, ABC, CBS, all those different networks doing sports and sports broadcasting. I had a little exposure to some digital. I mean, I did mostly photography. I was a camera engineer and or camera operator, depending on who was paying me and what they were paying me. So my exposure to digital was limited. Period. I don't know what else to say. So I was very daunted by the idea of doing any of this. Betty, my feet are feeling fine at the moment because I got my hugs on. The good old uglies. And my girlfriend, my new girlfriend. See if I can get her to come out. She's kind of shy. Am I in the frame here? Sorry, Miki. Still in you. My parents have gotten this foot massager. And oh my goodness. After all those cold nights, out on the road, in a van, to have this thing, my girlfriend, if you will. Well, she makes me feel a lot better. I apologize for the poor reference and bad dad joke, but it's true. Man, throughout all of this, the way that the injury works is like you're tender on one side because that hurts. So you're like how it's called pronating, the way you walk. Like I was kind of a toe walker and I walked on the outsides of my feet. So I mean that could have something to do with it or whatever. And then when this happened, I didn't really realize how bad I'd hurt myself, I guess, when it happened, because I've had a few different injuries over the years, and pardon me, I didn't realize that the outside bone had apparently been broken at some point, but I just toughed it out and started walking towards the inside of my feet apparently. And so your body, when you make those adjustments, it's like it all kind of triggers throughout the lower body, and the next thing you know, you're walking funny and it's all just janky and weird. But I finally got some really good shoes. Oh, hold right there. My lovely parents, Alan and Carol, bought me these, well, potentially ugly to you, but when you feel how comfy they are on your feet, oh man, I can't say enough good things about Hoka's. They're quite fantastic. I don't realize how much I do this. In any event, I suppose that's just from bartending, looking for something. Either way, I'm going to be self-conscious about that now. Anyway, yeah, the Hoka's have done a wonder for my feet. So, like, it's allowed me to walk in a more appropriate... The footbeds, I had Hoka's before for work, but they were a lot more stiff. So the footbeds, I don't know, they didn't really give me much relief. These footbeds are a lot softer, and they give me a lot more relief, so I've been using my feet more properly and as I'm more accustomed to using them. So in that process, all I've ever wanted was for someone to just rub that arch spot, because it hurts so much adjusting to all of this. And then now that I'm actually using it properly again, I'm really looking forward to the opportunity of having physical therapy, because quite honestly, I feel like if I had somebody helping me work the muscles more correctly, or like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not necessarily just work the muscles more correctly, but also like help with the recovery time. I don't know, ultrasound, I've had that before on various injuries, like my tendonitis or bursitis. Pardon me. Yeah. I don't know what to say. I noticed that my throat gets dry talking though. I'm glad past Vic was thinking of future Vic and putting some beverages alongside. Again, just like this mug that Whitney Jones sent me. Thank you, Whitney. My to-go mug that Robin sent me with the blanket, a shot glass, some jams. Whew, that was exorbitant. And, this little box came weighing like a ton. The blanket was jammed in there with some jam. And, yeah, all the other goodies. So thank you again, Robin, for all of that. That was quite fantastic. And if some of you aren't aware, I have made an affiliation with the Ground News Network. There will be a link in all the descriptions moving forward from, I think, a few videos past. And Ground News is just an aggregate news source that allows you to kind of get things weighed for you a little bit like we were taught to do in journalism school. So if that's of any interest to you, just know that when you use my link to go and subscribe to Ground News Network, you actually help me out with this commission. So thank you for that. And thank you to Ground News for giving me an opportunity to start doing the little things I think it takes to help grow this channel. And the dream that it is the Vic Meier Show. So, Betty, thank you again for asking about my feet. And Craig, you slipped one in there. You got some new toys for Miki. Well, that's good because obviously she made herself at home when we were there. And yeah, the jellyfish, we agree. Some of the best philosophy comes out of punk rock lyrics. And yeah, just go with the flow. So, take a little advice to everybody, not just me, from Craig. And be like the jellyfish, go with the flow. I don't know, where are we at? I don't even know. I don't see any of the stats on this end because I started my chat. Oh, we got 13 of you. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I think 13 is a lucky number right now. Because I'm lucky to have each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Miki, what do you think about that? All right. Yeah. It's very nice to have a dog that so very active. And obviously in great shape. She really super chill. A lot of times when we go out and shoot, Joey, hey, what it do, brother? Well, thank you very much. You can thank Alan Carroll Meyer for this lovely fire because, yeah, they are doing a lot to help me get through this situation. And, I mean, there's apparently no state-sponsored doctors to help me out in Mono County. And, man, trying to stay in the city in a van and all that would have been very difficult. So, came back down here to San Diego, and thanks to Alan Carroll Meyer for putting me up. Joey, thanks for joining the chat. So good to see you, buddy. Well, figuratively speaking, but just know, you guys, once I personally meet you too, I find a connection on all levels with most people. However, I just love to have a face and a memory to put to the name. So keep that in mind when you're out there going, wow, that's pretty cool. Well, maybe Vic should cover that. Maybe you should reach out to me. And when I have an opportunity, I'll come to where you are and you can show me all about the things that you think are special in your town, county, city, whatever. The things, parts about your life that you find interesting or that you think other people should know about, well, please reach out to me. Share them with me. Yeah, Joy, you're right. I am. Uh, I was doing a lot to help grant, or I don't know. I was in a way just grinning and bearing it because I did not want to leave my hometown, my chosen hometown, that is, of Mammoth Lakes. And yeah, you're right. Uh, it was wise for me to come home and take advantage of having a good family, and good support. But Mom, if you're watching, I love you. Thank you, Dad. I appreciate you very much. I love you, and both of you. Thank you very much. In fact, Big L, that's what we call him. Big L, sponsor me with this sweatshirt. Says it's not mine all the way, but we'll see about that, Albert. I just love the design. One of my favorite possessions is a Mexican blanket, blanket we got in Mexico when I was a kid. That we used to take out to the beach and to picnics and all that kind of thing. So, kind of just reminds me of that. You know, I love California. Not to be one of those people that likes to spike the ball on where they live, because I'm lucky to have been born here. I also love where you're from. Don't get me wrong. We can all love where we're from. We can all enjoy other places, and we can all give each other some grace. That's really my message that I'd like to spread throughout 2025. Right now, if anybody's curious, the reason we decided, or let's that's indicative of how I feel. This channel is really, I mean, it says the Vic Meier Show, but it's because, yeah, it's my show. But really, it's the interest around me solely stops there, because it's really my view on the world and the things and people, that places, I don't know, causes that I find important or necessary. I like to be able to have the opportunity to point a spotlight and give people an opportunity. Holy crap! Carl! That's amazing. Thank you very much. Carl just sent me a $10, what do they call that? Well, thank you for enjoying my fun stuff. You know, every now and then I'll try to keep it a little bit PG, or more PG, if you will. I'm still transitioning from a long service industry life, and I can be a bit salty. Ooh, I don't even know how to do this. I can be a bit salty, so that's very kind of you, Carl. Thank you very much. And I'll be thinking of you when I say do fun stuff next time. But you can see there's a sticker here on the computer. I'm currently out. Some of you out there got them. Like Whitney, you're never late when you show up. I was telling everybody about this awesome mug that you sent me. I did not chip out of it because it is so well used, and it does travel with me everywhere I go. So hugs to you, even though, like I was saying to Carl, I can be a bit prickly. But, you know, when people can be as gruff and aggressive as they are when they go out to die. Now, I've been very sheltered in my service career. Very sheltered. I spent much of it in fine dining and nicer restaurants. So I haven't had to deal with a lot of really crappy, because there was a certain protocol expected we did to some of these places, especially one or two of them. Anyway, but I will say, people can still, even in that environment, wear on you quite a bit, and so it's real easy to get a little bit, not like cold, but you stay a little bit more callous so that people can't hurt your feelings. Because if you're doing your job and you're doing it well as a service professional, no matter what you're servicing or who you're servicing, if you're doing your job and you're doing it well, it takes a lot out of you. Quite honestly, I know what it takes to make stuff happen these days. And man, it's it's an honor to get to be paid to be a part of people's good times. That's the way I've always looked at it. So like much of the time I spent in the service industry, I was at a nice restaurant where people got engaged, celebrated graduations, birthdays, all sorts of different happy occasions. So I chose to be there. I think based on that alone, because sort of like the way I feel about scary movies, the world is scary enough. So I prefer to try to keep it light and do my part to spread a little joy out there. I know what it's out. I know what's out there. I know what it's like. Sorry, I put two sentences together. I'm not naive, but I am hopeful and I am optimistic. And man, I can't tell you enough just how much I appreciate all of you tuning in. To those of you who watch my videos, if you haven't done it so before, I encourage you please use this opportunity to be familiarized. Old work like the video behind me, which is just, I mean, some of the stuff I put out there, like, I don't know if any of you have become acquainted with the bird's eye view, but bird's eye view is an inspiration that came away from my, oh man, there's a multifaceted inspiration. So it came out of my radio days, and I used to sit there in the booth on Friday nights playing my music as people would be rolling into town, and wondering, because there's a certain point along the highway where you can get the radio station successfully through different channels as you move up to 395, and I was just always enamored at what it must be like to, because here is a full disclosure moment. Nobody was in the radio station with me on Friday nights. I was there all by myself, and I took full advantage of that by deleting anything that I thought was repetitive or unnecessary commercial-wise. And, well, I was able to squeeze in a 4-hour stretch on public radio, and it wasn't public broadcasting, it was actually a private radio station. But over the public airwaves, I was able to squeeze in a 4-hour period about 3 hours and 45 minutes worth of music, meaning that I was keeping commercial breaks down to an absolute minimum. So along the 395, you got 20-minute, 30-minute, 45-minute stretches of just straight music. And I used to wonder what it would be like to just have some views and some tunes and go for a cruise. So bird's eye view has become like my, I don't know, my incarnation of that vision. But at the same time, when I left the radio, there were people out there that, like a handful of you, that actually missed my ability to mix genres and styles of music and time periods in a rather seamless way that's enjoyable. So I'm going to keep doing the bird's eye view when I can, because, man, it is, trust me, not lucrative at all. I can't monetize those videos unless it's original content and I have the right to use it. Much like my theme music from DJ Williams, Fade Away. He gave me the right to use that music, and I'm very thankful of that. Thank you, DJ. I think it works perfectly, and I'm so glad that he agreed to it. But other than music of such nature, it's really hard to play even covers sometimes, because some of these bands I've been alongside of and recorded have actually been good enough to spike the algorithm to question whether or not it was original work from the original artist. So a lot of times when I know when I'm going to post, a bird's eye view, again, bird, playing words because the man's named Bert. We go out for a drive and we get some views, and then I dub over the music with that and that sound so that you can get the full immersive idea of what it's like to go traveling and listen to some tunes. And you know, there's a few shows I've watched over the years. I love the Moment of Nature at the end of CBS morning, Sunday morning, and there's a show that was in the Netherlands, I think, that used to just be like looking out the window of a train on in the HD channel, except for this one show called Sunrise Earth that used to just show the sun rising in the morning. And I'd put tunes on while the sun rose, and it was awesome. Craig, thank you very much. You do like the bird's eye view. That's what it's for, you know, like, it's supposed to be kind of ambient entertainment anyways. I don't expect people to be like, you know, staring into the TV like you're right there, but if you're at your desk and you're feeling kind of trapped in the land of cubicles or behind some cement walls or walls of any type. Holy shit, Johnny Quest, thank you very much. Damn it, I didn't even expect any of this. That's rad. Oh my gosh. I honestly, guys, I did not expect anybody to, oh, sorry, I gotta do this. I did not expect anybody to be, man, I need it. Not gonna lie. Money is really tight right now. Holy shit, Whitney. Oh my gosh. Did you guys get together and decide to do this in increments? Because you're gonna make me get emotional. I did not do this I didn't do this for money. I just don't know what else to do because it's been difficult for me to get out and get content. Money's really tight. Thank you, Whitney. Thank you so much. I don't Obviously I do, sometimes. Thank you. I'm speechless. And that isn't good for a live chat, so somebody throw me a question. I know there was something in there. Steve and Chico. Man, from Humboldt? Man, you know how much I love the Bolt. Well, at least that's what I call it. Southern Californians have a way of like, I don't know, abbreviating everything. So, not abbreviating. It's a form of abbreviating. Anyway, that's not important. We have a way of adding nicknames to everything. Humboldt is where a good portion of my heart lies. And I'm so sorry that you have to be stuck in Chico. I'm kidding. I took my first recruiting trip to Chico, and it was pretty obvious they were going to get rid of their football programs, so I ended up going to Humboldt. But I probably would have gone to Chico just because, man, that looked like a fun school, and I was so much in the partying mode. When I showed up to Humboldt, I was like, oh my God, everybody speed up! And now I look forward to that slower paced lifestyle. The joke is when you're in Humboldt, the only traffic jam you get into. A little bit more of the Mickle Pickle. Are we still live? I think so. Think so. All right, that's something. The delay makes it hilarious to watch what's going on. It's kind of funny. Seeing this from this perspective, but you know, let's be honest. The real star of the show is laying right there. Huh, Miki Bear? Do you want to say hi to everybody? Yeah? Are you happy? Are you having a good time? Do you think Grandma and Grandpa want to join us one of these days? Yeah, I love you too. Guys, I am so... Kids, folks, I'm so lucky. Honestly. She has done more for my... Oh, I think before everything got emotional there and we lost the feed, I guess I was being too sensitive for YouTube's algorithm. Hey, I think tough guys gotta be sensitive. What can I say? If you don't care, how do you know what to be tough about? If you don't open your heart and give a shit, how will you know what to fight for? That's all I'm gonna say. In any event, George Lewis. Oh yeah, that's right. No, I need likes on George. Thank you. You're my new agent. George is right. I need likes on the video. I'm gonna do that. I'll like my own damn video. I ain't scared. Some people laugh at their own jokes. That's fine. I don't do that at least. Well, sometimes. Hey, funny's funny, right? Thank you, Whitney. That's similar to the like, but I'd be surprised if she hasn't already liked the video. Whitney is amazing like that. So, yeah. The video I've been working on. So, with all the things going on, so, little background on me. In 2003, I lost everything I owned in the 2003 cedar fire, which swept through San Diego in a very similar fashion, much less. Hold on, let me see if I can. I think this is all. All right. Sorry, I lost everything I owned in my house to the cedar fire in 2003. In very similar fashion to what's happening right now. A fire was lit late in the evening on accident. That fire smoldered throughout the rest of the night because of various policies at the time that wouldn't allow them to launch vehicles to put it out, or aircraft to put it out. Anyway, it not only burned up through that area like they expected, but then the winds picked up the very next day, and it swept through San Diego County in such a way that like it just burned from the coast area, like coastal bluffs, all the way out to like wine country in Ramona, and then took a southern turn and went straight down to where I lived at the time, in Crest, which is a little unincorporated community outside of San Diego. And because the fire moved so fast and the timber was so, or the tinder, there's no timber really. It's mostly just this like super dense chaparral. I mean, like when you see the chaparral around here in the hills, you wonder how the pioneers or anybody ever made it through without any sort of like real heavy equipment, because man, like one of the contractors I worked for back in the day, we rigged up a weed whacker with a skill saw blade on it, and we were hacking bushes with that thing in order to find property markers and draw property lines for a job we were doing. So when I watch you know, or when I look through the brush and between the rocks and the brush and everything else, you wonder how anybody ever came through some of that. Anyway, that also being so dense creates like huge fires, especially in some of these box canyons below the mesas, which we have an abundance of. And our fire department had left, the Crest Fire Department had left to go take care of the fires elsewhere, not thinking that it would burn from there to there. And before they could get back and even defend our neighborhood, my mom was calling me and my son's mother at the time, because we were at the BMX Nationals in Del Mar camping, and none of the news was talking about how fast it was moving and where it was going. So my mom called me because they live not far from where I used to live, and they were like, "Dude, get home. You're gonna lose everything." And at first I was kind of dismissive because there were no reports about it, and then all of a sudden it was like, she called back, she's like, "Now," and you listen to your mom, folks. She only wants what's best. So I hauled ass back here to the East County. I was able to gather just a few things before the cops were like, "You need to get out of here now." And literally the house that was like graded above us about 3 or 4 feet, which was a 2-story house, was just like lurching fire over the top, right on my house. And I was watching it happen. And I mean, man, you talk about like a harrowing situation, but one in retrospect that like you can't necessarily ask the universe to throw something at you, or God, or anything quite that nature, because yeah, I learned a bunch from that experience. I lost a lot, but I gained so much more perspective and value of overall life that I'm thankful in the end, but I wouldn't wish that on anybody. It's a very weird adjustment. You go through like years of like people being like, "Hey, do you have a," and you're used to having a, and you're, "Yeah, I got one of those," and you're, "Oh, no, never mind, that burned." And with insurance companies refusing to pay and all the different things that they pulled up there, it really made FEMA money necessary. And we did our best to make FEMA go as far as we could, because that went towards the kid first. When you're a parent, I think he was in 2nd grade, you just want their lives back. We'll deal with it. They need their normalcy. So with that being said, it just teaches you a bunch. And I'd say I'm kind of a minimalist, especially compared to most people, especially people my age and older. I'm a complete minimalist, and that's fine. I am surrounded by things that I love. There's nothing wrong with having it simplified. And with that being said, also these conditions are very. We've had immense winds throughout all of Southern California. So San Diego is just as prone as anywhere else in Southern California for any of these fires that can happen. Our houses are built right on top of each other. I mean, it's been a commentary for many, many years. I don't know why people are acting like there's something new happening. Suburbia, or the suburban wasteland as I viewed it when I was a kid, has been lamented for many years because it's just cookie cutter homes, one after the next, right next to each other, backed into. I mean, there would be a fire to the end of our street every year I was growing up in East County. I never thought one would burn my home because the firefighters were always able to swoop in and protect us. But then I learned, after years of aggressive firefighting, I took a forestry class in college, and they were talking about this in the late 90s. There's been so much aggressive firefighting over the years that there's been a buildup of brush. And so I just take that very seriously. So I was working on a video about San Diego and about some of my favorite areas within San Diego County, because I'm not sure if you're aware, but San Diego County is huge. When I used to coach sports and play sports in high school, it's like there's a Southern California district in the CIF, and then there's the San Diego district, which is like everything. And I'd say everything north, like south of LA and east. It's a huge, and then LA is broken into like smaller. That's not important. San Diego's huge. It's also a home to the largest desert park, or large state park in California, which is the Anza Borrego State Park. Yeah, the Anza Borrego State Park. So that is neighboring Ocotillo, where Craig is. Craig just chimed in too. Oh yeah, Craig lives on a canyon. He knows. Well, there was a Craig, if I'm not mistaken, there was a little brush fire not far from me, a little further west in Fashion Valley, right? But Craig, yeah, I'd love to get together with you so we can go explore Ocotillo. But I was thinking it'd be also great to get out and show the rest of you, and I'd be preaching to the converted on this with Ocotillo Outlaws. But if you stretch on through the Anza Borrego State Park, Borrego Springs, Fonts Point, there's a huge cave system, some hot springs, and it's just amazing because in San Diego County you can go from a desert to a mountain to a beach in like literally an hour. It's such a short drive. I know I'm going to make one of the bird's eye view into the drive from there to the coast, from the desert to the coast. Just because, like I said, it'd be like the perfect, like 1 hour trip to show everybody just how. I don't want to spoil too much of the video, but San Diego is the wildest area, wildest county in all of North America. There is no larger what's the variation of like plant or animal species anywhere in the world, or anywhere in North America rather, in this part of the world rather. So it's amazing because one of the things I've always appreciated about living here growing up, it's gotten a lot more crowded over the years and it's become less tolerable for me on that level. I still enjoy coming home, I still enjoy San Diego, but I really like traffic and the fact that you have to pay for parking everywhere you go now is just, it's very off-putting when you're used to like so much fun and wilderness near and around where you live. Like I've been spoiled with, man, oh, you itchy girl. So, I digress. San Diego County is quite extensive with what it offers as far as first plant and animal populations, and also the topography, because you have everything from coastal wetlands and that sort of thing to like the chaparral I was describing that I grew up in. That's covers a lot of the county because it's technically a semi-arid desert. And then there's these oak, wooded oak woodlands. I said oak a lot, didn't I? There's this is why I study and write a script and make sure that I'm prepared before I talk on a topic too deeply, because I hate to stammer or stymie over any of this. We'll get to a lot. Anyways, there's a lot of different topographies. We're going to cover all of that. I'm going to give you some facts about San Diego, and really what I'm hoping to do is bring to you a lot of really good pictures with maybe a local artist or somebody that I can find that can provide us some music. And with the, all the red flag warnings and things that we've had, that's the wind warnings we've had here in San Diego County, much has been shut down, and it's been kind of hard for me to get out to some of the outlying places as I wanted to, but I will. And so I shifted gears. For any of you out there who create content, I don't know that I'm like a role model or a lesson to be learned or have anything to teach, other than I just have an overwhelmingly hopeful mindset. And really I was kind of beating myself up. Production costs were running up a little bit on this video, and I really didn't have exactly what I wanted. I knew with a little bit of time I could probably put it together, so who knows if I'll even get it out next week. Something else might go in its place, just because when I cover this topic in the way that I want it to be very cinematic and beautiful. I want you to be able to escape your daily grind and your daily pressures and enjoy a beautiful video about North America's wildest city, San Diego, California. So we will get to that, and that will happen eventually in the very near future here. But at the end of the day, it's important, I think, to shift gears and to take into account when, you know, something doesn't work out your way, you can always find a different path. And being a member of the creator community on YouTube has kind of, I don't know, started this thing where, like, you get, or I get suggestions from time to time on what kind of video. And I'm sure if you've watched my videos like Craig has, or Whitney, or Betty, oh man, JR, Rando, you know, a bunch of you that have seen, I think, most of what I do. You've probably seen that I tried the how-to style, and I tried like things you need to learn, and you know, I've taken the advice that YouTube has given me along the way on ways to grow your channel, grow your audience, diversify your content, come up with the evergreen how-to topics. They have all these suggestions, but I hope you don't mind. At the end of the day, really what I'm doing has very little to do with, again, my own personal aspirations or me being in front of the camera even this much. It's I want the opportunity to get to show you the lovely things I get to enjoy, and it's an extension of my bar life and the, you know, good times I get to have with people. So I've had some amazing conversations, and over the years I've always said, man, I wish there was just somebody here to record it all. So you know, I decided to start doing it myself. And well, you can't be in a bar every night. That's not a very healthy practice. I have 2 cups of water, just so you're wondering. One's iced and one's not. It's more so that you can see my logo. I'm doing everything I can. I'm trying everything I can. I'm doing everything I can. There's no try. There only is do or do not. So when I put the logo out there, I stamp it on everything I can. You know, I followed. Oh, baby. Are you getting up there, buddy? Hey, come here. Can't move just yet. Are you getting too hot? No. Maybe that means I should call it. But there's so many of you still out there, and I'm having a great time. What do you guys think? Want to hang out some more? Sip some water? Anybody want to bribe me to play some guitar? You can do that too. I see there's a little conversation happening down there. I hope that's Craig and Joey talking to each other. You guys would get along swimmingly. Joey's a rad dude. He shows up completely self-contained. Like, well, Whitney, I think you probably earned it. I'll pluck and see what comes up. But yeah, Joey's a great dude and a fun desert adventurer. We have yet to go on an adventure together. We got to meet each other. That sounds alright. We got to meet and talk. Pardon me. We got to meet and talk. Tacoma. Sorry, drawing a blank. Put this thing on my lap and now I don't have any idea how to talk or play. Anyway, it was a great time getting to know you, Joey. Craig, man, I'm looking forward to potentially making one of those trifecta videos, because yeah, we could do a little off-roading, stop through the lagunas, do a little boarding. If we ever get any snow or rain, shit, there hasn't been any for like a year. But yeah, if we get any weather at all, that'd be a great idea. My car gets great gas mileage, and I got a rack. Or we can put the roof box on too. That helps. Got a couple surfboards, to make this happen. I got a rock board that'll be perfect for the occasion. I doubt my doctors would appreciate me being out there, but you're more than welcome to use it. Any of it, really. That'd be an awesome video. I know you used to surf, so I don't want to like pry you too much on having to surf. All right, Slim. You know, that could be, we have the most robust internet system possible. So I mean, I haven't even had the chance to do a live stream before because it takes a lot of bandwidth just to do it. And I might have to look into that for the next time if I do a live stream, maybe just do it a little bit later where people around the house are not, you know, maybe it's just running the TV or too many things all at once. But I'll look into that for sure. I am curious though, if anybody else can respond to Steve there in the comments or in the chat, and maybe chime in if you're having the same sort of technical difficulty. I'm new to all of this, and I'm learning. So this is fun to get the feedback from you folks. So. Whitney, is that a yup you're having a problem, or yup you wanted me to play guitar? Because I asked that question at the same time. Let's see what this is doing. Well, shit. It's still working on my end. I'm not sure. Listen to everybody sing, be like everybody else, don't you see? You got to be free. Ain't nobody like this. You got to be free. Never get old this. I'm singing all by myself. Listen to everybody sing, be like everybody else, but don't you see? I got to be me. Ain't nobody like this. I got to be me. Let me get over me. Well, that's about all I'm gonna do. We're not even warming up my voice. Well, I'll sit here and talk because actually it's like a security blanket. Well, I have the shotgun mic pointed at me. That's awesome, Craig. It's good to see you guys are hanging out, or talking, or conversing. Yeah. Let's make it a party. Oh, man. Well. I don't play this one very often, but I love the sound of it. I get kind of sidetracked. Sorry about that. Anybody, well, thank you, Betty. Some people say I don't focus. Others blame it on the ADHD. I'm glad you appreciate me. Let's see. Well, I woke up this morning, it was drizzling rain. Around the curb come a passenger train. Heard somebody yodeling, I hope I'm wrong. Jimmy, he did, he been a long time gone, he been a long time. A long time gone. Got my name painted on my shirt. I ain't no ordinary dude. I don't have to work. I don't have to work. Thank you, Melissa. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. I mean, anybody my age grew up hearing his voice every Friday. Well, for like a year or two. Seems like forever when you're a kid, but you look back on when these shows ran and it's like, man, Dukes of Hazzard wasn't at the top very long, but man, that little run they had, I was always looking forward to Friday nights. And that voice. Love being able to cover some Waylon. Anyway, well, I'm amazed. It's been great. Oh, I am so humbled and so thrilled and so appreciative of all of you. Man, I really don't even know what to say. I just feel so darn lucky. Somehow or another, this thing keeps chugging along from one week to the next. And believe me, I put a lot of work in. I hate having to post memes all the time on socials and do all that crap. But I love this. This has been an absolute blast. I can't thank you enough for being along for this, and shoot, maybe we'll do it again. Like I said, we'll see if I can sit down with my parents. They are an absolute riot. Especially, you just let Al run with some of his characterisms. Is that a word? Anyway, I'm proud of my family. I'm proud of my friends, the family I've gathered here online. And as I've said before, I'm looking forward to getting out there and meeting you and getting to know you better and see your house, or not your house, your home, where you're from. I think Miki wants to eat. It's around her bedtime now, or her dinner time. I am completely out of myself right now. Sorry. I don't want it to end, and yet it has to. But it's been an absolutely thrilling experience to spend this evening with you, and I won't do too much of this to supplant my own actual journalistic work and getting out there and producing content. I know, baby. But, oh. I will, however, keep this in mind. Run into another rough spot and I need a quick plan. It's nice to know you guys are there. It's nice to know that you're out there supporting me and you're involved. And Johnny, yeah, it has been a blast. I really can't believe it's been this long. I am over the moon right now. I'm the luckiest man alive. Thank you so much to everybody out there. Much love. Honestly, couldn't do any of this without you being on the other end. Without you, I'm just some crazy dude talking to his phone. But then again, who says I'm not still that crazy dude talking to his phone? All right. Much love, everybody.